We'll do this the right way. Hello and welcome. We are here live in Wichita, Kansas at the Century 2 Arts and Convention Center. It is the Unified Esports Festival brought to you by Atlantic and Dardashi Chairs. I am Ken Kendo Slice Carmen, and I am happy to be your MC for the event. There have been a few technical difficulties already here at the venue, and we do apologize for any delays here on the stream throughout. I do want to present to you, though, right off the bat, we are going to be going into Overwatch. And we're looking forward to a great stream on that. Here live will be Orbital, and I do believe we have Zephyr on the other side of a quick break. Welcome to the Unified Esports Festival.
Welcome here, everyone. We are excited to bring you some awesome gaming action. Of course, my name is Orbital. I'm joined here by Zephyr. Zephyr, my man, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. It's quite warm down here. How's it doing up there?
It's doing okay. We're indoors. We're enjoying ourselves here in the Century 2 building again. It's one of the staples here in Wichita, and so we're very, very happy to be here and showcase some games for you. Now, of course, the schedule has changed for anyone that has been keeping track of that. And, of course, we will be starting off with our Overwatch, which will be a best-of-5 series. Very entertaining to see what they can bring out for us here today. The two teams will be the Wichita Wolves, which are well-known here in Wichita, of course, and then they are up against Blood, Bath, and Beyond, which I think is a fantastic name.
A little bit of an understatement there. That is one heck of a name. And to say the least, Wichita Wolves are no small name in themselves either. We're definitely happy to have them participating here at this lovely land. I believe they'll also be competing in Rainbow Six later on, too.
Mhm. Yeah,
All
there's
right.
quite a few different games that they will compete in, but let's give you a rundown of the show afterwards. You saw it on the left side of your screen during the intermission and during the break. First up is the Overwatch. We will have a best of 5 series, potentially 3 games, potentially 5. No one knows except for the teams at that time. Next up after that, we will have Super Smash Bros. Ultimate that will be played here at this event. So, of course, if you are here at the event and want to get your hands on it, it is free. It's just a one-on-one. Have a blast and have some fun and see if you can win some money. You know, that's always a great time. And then potentially at the end of the day, depending on time limitations, we might have League of Legends to round things out for the evening. So quite a few different games and quite a bit of fun. But of course, we are getting underway for Overwatch. So let's hone in on that a little bit. So of course, the first map that we do have is Control, and that is going to be Busan. So I mean, Zephyr, this is one that a lot of people have played. I mean, if you
Man.
played as soon as Overwatch came out, it's pretty well known.
Oh, absolutely. It's probably one of the simplest maps in the control factor, given it's not so undirect. You really only have the separate two paths for most of the routes coming into your first and second maps. The third expands out a little bit, but past that, you're just going to get some direct fighting. It's going to be pretty explosive time and time again. I'm expecting some pretty heavy brawl comms.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. My favorite thing about this entire map, I think, is there's a possibility that you can get run over by a vehicle outside of the map, which is, is that this one or am I thinking a different one? Come on,
I don't know.
help me
I
out
don't know
here.
if I'm on the same page with you on that one.
Okay, okay,
I believe
okay.
that's a different map.
Oh, it's still one of my favorites. But of course, we will have Busan, so it's going to be a grand old time. And again, this is Control. It is basically a best of 3 series. You will go ahead and try and cap out on a point. Back and forth it goes. And again, you will have constant fighting. Like you said, those brawl compositions. And I mean, we're talking about some of the meta, some of those characters that will be coming out, some of those heroes that will come out here on the Overwatch. Go ahead, walk us through what you think we will see some of the more prominent, maybe tanks, DPS, or supports.
Well, I think it definitely depends. I think we're going to get a little bit more of hybridization, maybe a little bit too far forward with the brawl comp. I definitely like to keep it with some mixed poke in there as well. If you get too far forward with compositions that play off of very easy standard picks like the Rhine or the Zara, those are getting in there in your face. Those are great, but they don't capitalize on the full effect or the force of these teams here. I definitely want to see them pull back, maybe play a bit more of the poke-oriented comps. You got Sig, you've got the Orisa that could come out at any given point. So we'll take a look here as we see what the first picks shape out to be. But overall, nothing too crazy on my mind.
Yep, and it's gonna be a good time. We go ahead and head over to the station. We'll see what we have again. Bloodbath and Beyond over on the left side of your screen in the green tag. Wichita Wolves over there in the purple. And of course, we do kick things off here. 5 seconds until those heroes are picked. And like you said, it really does come down to what they decide for themselves. And immediately we do see that Reinhardt, like you were saying, that
Yeah,
Doomfist is also coming out, a
both
Lucio
ends.
to kick things in. So a lot of variation across both teams.
Yeah, definitely some different picks across the board here. You've got a lot of steady damage coming out from Bloodbath and Beyond. Granted, they give themselves the route forward with that Doomfist to possibly find their way into the backline. McCree also being something that is just consistently good standard hit scan, so hopefully we'll find what it wants. On the other end, I like this. They switch up. They instead rip out from the Tracer, and they're going to route towards that Reaper to possibly even up what will shore up the weaknesses in terms of flank. But for now, bit of the first fight starting to work out here.
Yep, just a little bit of craziness. Always in the battle, in the open. Again, 15 seconds until the control point unlocks. So first up is just charging that ultimate, trying to get as much as you can. Of course, Reinhardt getting the first kill of this game. Follows up with a few more. So Bloodbath and Beyond definitely living up to the name. But that is going to be Wichita Wolves firing right back with some of the opening shots. And as the point opens as it is, Bloodbath and Beyond going ahead and trying to go for that capture.
Bloodbath Beyond keeping good control on the back end here. I do like the rotation from Squig, able to take out this back end comp and keep it far in between. This is why you pick that flank quick, and now that Ryan is officially back up and into the fray here, they should be able to take the first.
Ooh. Yeah, Wichita Wolves go ahead, finish that one off, and then this is going to be Dingus finishing off a few members, going to be playing on the backline, get clammed, of course, trying his best to kind of route while his members kind of recollect and regroup, and that's kind of the crazy thing about this game, and one of the great features is it is constant shifting of momentum, constant shifting of the characters to always try and get an upper hand.
Might be the first fight that works out here. The Earth Shatter to start things off from a Solus. They aren't able to bot probably in the way that they exactly want. That Blossom is available for the potential drop down. As Solus looking lower and lower. Coming around from the back though. Wiggle with a fantastic start to the end here. Bloodbath and Beyond, what started off great in that annul does not work out for them.
Yep, and they're going to try and keep going. Of course, it is now for Bloodbath and Beyond. They're trying to cap out again, 30%. Pretty standard there for Wichita Wolves' first shove, and we'll see how much Bloodbath and Beyond can get. Again, the shields are going up for Asolius and Duncan, so they're going to be working with a little bit of extra meat on their bones, but the shield is up for Wichita Wolves. They're going to go ahead and try their best to rebuke any attempt that they have here, and Bloodbath and Beyond getting caught out.
Bloodbath and Beyond pushed back by a great EMP shove with that sound barrier. Got get climbing the backline, throwing out the pulse, but unable to find any downs as Wichita once again finds the control on this route. You've got the big throw from D.Va, but no kills to be found. Yami is picked out here, so you got less damage orientation. Hopefully Swoog will find his way through with this Doomfist, but being space and oriented, it's gonna be rough.
Yep, and that's going to be a little bit of a juggle coming out. Squiggle going out, holding his own, and that is going to be the pop. Hanbei is down, and now Reinhardt with that Earth Shatter is ready to go if he is given the chance. Question is, can the rest of the team follow up? It's a great way to CC your opponents. Not so great if you don't have the damage backing it up, but again, 70%. Wichita Wolves doing very well here on the first round. How much can Bloodbath and Beyond get? Only time will tell.
Only time will tell, but respectively, both ultimates are available. Good Earth Shadow start things off here, but Wichita Wolves looking worse for wear as they do lose Fluffy there at the very beginning, but I do love their constant push here onto the back end. They get the great response and make sure that both supports are down, so any sustain on these heavy damage carries are no longer available there. You see Swiggle try to find what was the Meteor Strike, but not quite landing anywhere he wants. Still, though, keeping good control.
Yep, and now into the overtime again. Wichita Wolves just need to force out a few more members of Bloodbath and Beyond to cap this first control map. Overtime ticking down, but again, Bloodbath and Beyond doing okay and trying to stave it off. But again, they lose 4, and that looks like it is going to be it. Wichita Wolves come out with point number 1.
All right, Wichita Wolves taking the pace here and putting it into play. I don't know where I might kind of critique or go forward here with Bloodbath and Beyond. It doesn't feel like they really got a good handle on playing around the point there. In most cases, in my personal opinion, it felt like they were too separated in that their team or composition was split before they could actually route forward here with their actual ultimates.
Yeah, it's a little bit difficult, and that's one of the things about it is learning how to coordinate and how to kind of take a little bit of a breather sometimes, right? Saying, hey, look, we are going to wait as we are into a very quick pause. We will be hopefully back. It looks like we are going to get some technical difficulties, but again, a little bit of a deeper analysis, right? We saw some of the I want to say standard compositions, right? But
Oh, yeah.
you pointed out that, again, a little bit of a desynced action by Bloodbath and Beyond. So in a control map, how would you really try and sync it up? Would you take a little bit more time to regroup, or would you just kind of spread out at times? What exactly would you hope to have happen?
Well, the tough thing here is Wichita is playing a very good composition, and they play off the back end with Squiggle coming in with great flank. You saw him on that Doomfist constantly, and he wasn't pressuring out the damage, which I loved. He was making sure he's focused down what was Hanabi and the rest of the support composition that they had pinned together between Baptiste and I believe Lucio, right? And so constantly the back end from front, they're not even dealing with the D.Va. They don't even care about the Reinhardt. They're going deep in the back and they're routing this one forward, and constantly as a result, you kept losing any kind of pressure available. But I do think we are going to be working our way finally back here into our second round. So hopefully it can fix that one.
Hopefully they do. And again, it is another great map. And this one's a little bit more tightly enclosed, right? A little bit of a tighter corners. And they're going to go at it again. The Reinhardts are out and swinging around. Dingus going ahead with that McCree. He's going to give it his best shot. But again, all the action is laid out right at the doorstep. And so far, Wichita Wolves having a grand old time. Bloodbath and Beyond keeping themselves pretty steady here, though. We'll see who gets the first cap and if they can make it hold.
Oh, I love this from Clam. Notably, he switched over to what was the Symmetra, and he is setting up those turrets to start things out here, and you see that off of that initial push. Baptista, though, with the first ultimate down that barrier, hopefully going to be putting them all to critical health, but not quite possibly what they want. Major contention, though, but hey, Bloodbath and Beyond, the first ones to take on the point for once.
Yeah, I think they had it last time as well. They just didn't hold it for very long. No, they were out contested. You are very, very much correct. And this time they're racking up the points. Wichita Wolves falling like flies here as that is Get Clan and Asolius. Rest of the squad just wiping him out. Wichita Wolves are going to have to retreat here a little bit if they want to make another push.
And the craziest thing is, into this round, you see the switch up from Squiggle there. He passes over to start with the Chillborn to try to get some kind of setup, maybe find turret position to capitalize off the fact that this map is so small. But right off the bat, he is going to pull back away towards that Hanzo, and they're going to try to start rounding this war to what is a poke composition.
Yeah, and just getting those arrows down, taking out some of those priority utility, and it's going to go ahead, slow down a little bit. They hop right in, and Wichita Wolves are ready for it. They're going to give it a shot. A very nice Earth Shatter. Can they get a little bit more? Yes, they can. The follow-up is okay. Can they get a bit more? Bloodbath and Beyond holding a little bit steady, and they retaliate. They're able to play it off, and that Diva Bomb is not going to get too much. Wichita Wolves, their attack did fail, and Bloodbath and Beyond hold off 65% and climbing.
The craziest thing is Fluffy found the Earth Shatter. It was great. And they just couldn't push it too much further there. Notably, Baptiste with that Infinity Shield was keeping the rest of that squad alive and the rest of the roster here, especially as they lost Dingus, I believe, here. Or Yami, my apologies, on the McCree. Definitely didn't spell it. But for now, Solus on his own Earth Shatter. Keep the pressure coming.
Yep, got the shield up, waiting for his team for a little bit of backup, and Wichita Wolves trying to cap out very, very quickly, but 90%, that's going to be a bomb going down, and yes, able to take one. Now can they get a little bit more? Wichita Wolves with the overshields are going to try and give it a shot. Out goes the Hanzo ultimate, but it doesn't really catch anyone, and Bloodbath and Beyond are falling now to just a heavy suppressive fire. At 99%, Wichita Wolves stave off defeat and are looking for their first cap of this round.
Oh, they've got a long way to come if they're looking to cap this one back. One simple mistake might spell the end here. I like the rotation and usage of the teleport that's going to put everyone back into the fray. We talk a lot about these brawl comps, and having your entire roster within the timing on that position is huge. So great utilization there from Get Clam. But for now, let's see if they can force their way back onto this point here.
Yep, and it looks like the positioning as well. That's going to be Hanbei throwing out a couple shots here. Can they get a little bit more? The Hanzo ultimate is almost up, and yes, it is going to be fired straight through the wall. Is it going to catch anyone? Looks like it's doing okay damage, but not too much. Again, utility falling left and right. Wichita Wolves wanting to hang on to this cap, and Bloodbath and Beyond. They can't make the assault happen. There goes the overshield, but what more can they get? Again, Hanbei is already down, so is Diva, and the rest fall like flies. That is going to be Bloodbath and Beyond getting rebuked a second time here as Wichita Wolves stand proud.
And the thing is, it's just far too late. You see that sound barrier used at roughly the last possible moment. You've already lost Hanbei and Duncan here on this Diva way before that comes out. So you're now down 4v6 and into what was already a huge damage spike with that Dragon Strike coming out at the very beginning there. There's not many windows you have to utilize to push your way back on the point. But now, reset coming through. Let's see if they can pull this one back out. Not a lot of ultimates to work with, though.
Yeah, this is going to be one of the last attempts. Again, 80%. Now that's a bomb in the back line. Doesn't really catch anyone, so straight back. And again, the Hanzo ultimate's being thrown back and forth. It's pretty even across the board, but no, Bloodbath and Beyond third time is not the charm as they lose members. Wichita Wolves, again, lose 2 of their DPS, but I think that's going to be enough. In comes the respawn, and Wichita Wolves, from 0 to potential heroes, they take it from 0 to 99, but Jang is going to get taken out. Bloodbath and Beyond, they had it at 99. Now are they going to lose it? Oh no, this is so close.
I love the switch onto the Hammond here. You've got the best dive here on the map, and he was able to keep the overtime going for as long as possible. Jang coming back into this one, hopefully going to be able to skate his way around the center pillar, but for now, I think this just might be it, and Wichita Wolves take their second round in this first match.
A ridiculous game number one, to say the least, and that
So
is what we
close.
like to see. It was great to see, and again, Bloodbath and Beyond, no hate to them because they had it at 99. It was 99 in one run. I don't know if people understand how hard and difficult that is, but in this game, it was fantastic to watch. Just couldn't close it out, and Wichita Wolves take it 2-0.
Oh, I mean, I'm a bit sad to say. I mean, it's fantastic to see the 91 play come back into the fruition, and they managed to work it all the way back up. At the same time, Bloodbath and Beyond didn't have enough pressure to actually capitalize or push Wichita off of that point consistently. A lot of major props to that Baptiste, keeping up with not only the application field, but timing what was those windows around the invulnerability, keep everything rolling for this composition. You saw that happen time and time again, and that's the reason why, personally, I believe Wichita kept finding themselves in a path of safety on that point there.
Yeah, it was so good, and hopefully they can continue a little bit further on as well. We will have a little bit of a change up, I believe, in terms of what the map type is. We will wait for the bans to come out, of course, as it will be the loser's discretion on what they want to ban first, and we will get moving. So we will have that for you here very, very shortly. I believe we will go to a very, very short break to ensure the quality of the broadcast and the quality of the game. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back, and we will have some more Overwatch action here at the Unified Esports Festival in Wichita, Kansas. And welcome back. We are here once again for game number 2 with Wichita Wolves taking map number 1 in a fairly controlled fashion, but Bloodbath and Beyond definitely put up a fight, and I'm excited to see what else they can do. We are now moving to Hanamura, an assault map, which has a very different playstyle.
I was about to say, we're going to be on the assault end of the spectrum, so seeing a
Mhm.
little bit more of some reserved play. I think it's going to be playing around those windows in more of a keen sense instead of just the constant bash into the timing there. And I like how you do bring up the point. You choose your words carefully. It was more of a controlled fight. I don't want to wipe away Bloodbath and Beyond completely because they did fully commit to the full 99% push there.
Mhm.
It's a shame it didn't work out to the very end. And like I said, some of those more abashed push just didn't play into their favor at the very end.
Yeah, there's always a difference between we faltered at the last step and the enemy team just got a really good push off or had a really good
Right.
play. And I think it's sometimes very difficult to see, right? You know, you talk about sports all the time. It's like, oh, a team didn't win or something. Oh, it's bad. It's always it can be very close. You know, that 2-0 can be very deceptive in how that map turned out. And so now with the assault, very excited. Hanamura, one of the more traditional map styles, and it's very, I feel, open, not too much craziness can happen. And yet that yields some of the most aggressive fighting and more of the technical and clinical displays of some of these heroes.
Right. Like I was saying a little bit earlier before we got into it, it's going to be playing around more of those major windows. You're going to see those 10 to 15-second breaks where we get a second of kind of ease of slow. Like you play around, what was that, Hanzo earlier? You didn't really get to
Mhm.
see that really shine in what is a control map of all places.
Yeah.
Yes, it picks off a little back, but in these scenarios where you do get a bit more of the poke oriented heroes that can line it up from afar, whether it be the more hit scans, you're going to have those pacings where they're going to poke out for a bit, but once those major key players are online, you'll see a hard rush come through, and it might be through some orientation towards dive. We got to see Hammond pop up at the very end there. Wrecking Ball for some of those who don't know the little hamster's name, but either way, we got to see Ball come in at the very end, which I was very excited to see. I love that. It's one of the best dive-oriented heroes, and finding his way onto point for some of these more assault-oriented maps can be maybe the make or break change. So seeing that on the roster there for Bloodbath was nice, but who knows?
Who knows indeed. And I love the fact that you bring it up because it's also one of the more enjoyable characters to watch
Oh
in
yeah, oh
Overwatch.
yeah.
It's the hamster in a ball, literally just flinging itself in a circle over and over again. It's just hilarious to watch, and I love it so much. But we are getting underway. Keep in mind, Wichita Wolves are up 1 in this best of 5. And of course, it does, I believe, show that they have things fairly under control here. Now, if we
Right.
took a look at the compositions before, what do you expect to come out here for the assault map?
Well, we did have Squiggle on some more of those back end carries on the damage sort of things, trying to find a bit more of the flanks. They did have a roster very early on that played around what was the Tracer, but they don't think they're going to run that one. Interested to
Ooh.
see is as controlled as it is with the May coming out here, but they're definitely look to play it a bit more slow and keep themselves in a sense of safety. What I do see here, though, from Bloodbath and Beyond is that combo. You've got the Orisa, you got the Sigma, as well as the Ashe. So heavy hits, like I said, playing a bit more a run around that kind of poke secured setup to see if they can kind of pull things out from afar before the fight gets too close.
Yeah, and I mean, having those combinations of those two tanks, like you were saying, can create such opportune areas. And then, of course, we do see the Mercy and the Baptiste now on the other side. Wichita Wolves will be attacking first. It is going to be a 2-point objective, so we'll see if they can make it happen. Again, it looks like a hard sprint on the side of Wichita Wolves straight to the right, and they're going to go ahead, collapse, just run their way straight in with the wall, just ran facers into the wall.
Ding is trying to find some kind of position here and see if he can work his way in the back line, that launch down. But this is why you play through with that May. That wall doing so good to stop the pressure out. And Duncan Clam both being down might spell the end for this roster here, as most major damage-oriented carries are going to have to back off this point. And I think that's immediate loss. This is one of the hardest rushes you could possibly see.
Yeah, Wichita Wolves are playing it to an exceptional value here.
Oh,
One of the very quick caps here. And now it's on to the second point. Again, it's a Symmetra with the side lane flank. Oh no, are Bloodbath and Beyond ready for this? They are caught a little bit by surprise, and Squiggle goes ahead, takes out Yami. Are they going to get a little bit more? The barrier is up. The nullifying as well as amplifying War just takes shots through it. Seed is going ahead, trying to lay down the fire, and it seems Wichita Wolves are holding their own. Bloodbath and Beyond losing a few members left and right. Point is halfway capped already, as Wichita Wolves are looking to put an end to this first assault course.
Well, they've lost both damage-oriented carries from Bloodbath and Beyond, so Wichita Wolves are going to walk their way cleanly onto this point here as we're finally seeing those revives come out. You see, though, that sound barrier going to be keeping Wichita Wolves alive. Seed is down health-wise, so in terms of support action, this might be it.
Yeah, it's going to be a little dangerous. May goes into that iceberg, going to try and save off, and that is 4 members down. Make it 5. Hanbei is the only one, and that is going to be the cap. Wichita Wolves, very quick, I want to say 1.5 to 2 minutes for round 1 to be completed.
And this is how you have to play around a composition like that. We talk about heavy roll. That's why you do pick out that Symmetra to start things off, to play around that teleport, especially on a map like Hanamura. So the fact that they got in there, controlled with the wall on May to start things off, and basically routed everyone into what was a funnel on that first point, and then essentially kept themselves as long as they could alive on that final point to make sure that they held complete control. No surprise that Wichita took it.
Yeah, and now we'll see if Bloodbath and Beyond are going to utilize the same tactics. Again, the wall at the beginning, I think, was very, very good. Just that Symmetra was able to lay out the teleporter just a split second faster. So to notify yourself of that and to see that happen, kind of a little bit of information that you have to hang on to. But we got straight up the poke composition plus just all-out fighting. Bloodbath and Beyond are looking to take this through the front door.
They might be doing just that. You've got the double flank carries. You see what is the Genji come out there. I'm curious how that might be making its impact from Squiggle here, but we'll have to wait and see. Well, we'll have to actually wait and see if they're going to be able to pull off the defense in a bit more of an aggressive fashion. Both notably, though, the Mays are no longer on the map for either squad here.
Yeah, now we get to see what more they can do. Now it's going to be the left side flank, Bloodbath and Beyond, looking like they're going to enjoy themselves here and straight through the front door, like we were saying, but immediately fought off. Look at this firefight. Again, both Reinhardt's trying to throw out the shields. Doesn't look like anyone's moving so far.
No one's going to be moving for any kind of time period here. This is a bit more of those major windows that we talk about. Yeah, to play around. So back end of the corner, try to poke out what you can on some of these major carries and just keep the team healthy until you get some of those ultimates that definitely spell what could be the end. I'm going to start things off though with that barrier, but Swiggle with good return on the front end deletes a Solus on this Ryan, so now your push is already negated.
Oh, yeah, and that's just going to be a little bit of a hard one to swallow right there. Bloodbath and Beyond have lost Hanbei, which is one of their healers, so they might have to wait a little bit. Get Clam goes ahead, heals up, and again, with the Reaper, has the ability to kind of do a make-or-break move here, and that's going to be the Lucio going ahead, bouncing his way in. Looks like so far Bloodbath and Beyond are still stuck kind of at the entrance here. They need to find a route around this, or Wichita Wolves will continue to get these free kills.
Once again, a Solus down, and you look at how Dingus and Squiggle are playing the high-end control here, and people like Yami can't find their way forward with the constant poke. Meanwhile, they keep losing Ryan on the front end, so they have no way to work their way in at any given point while keeping that back line safe. But maybe this is the turning of tide. Duncan does find that initial kill onto Fluffy. He just might find the response. Now he does have the charge up for Deadeye, and I think this might be the beginning of the start push. Deadeye kind of come around the back end, and it does find the double carry take here. So on to point. Bloodbath and Beyond carry themselves forward.
Yep, that's going to be the one. Now they're finally attacking here, but again, they're down to about 2 minutes, and the shots back. Wichita Wolves fire right back. Squiggle with 2 on that Doom Fist. Are they going to get the landing? No, they cannot. Earth Shatter is taken out. Solius can't get it off in time, so this is going to be Wichita Wolves rebuking that. But again, 1/3 already taken down. Squiggle finishing off Get Clan, and over the wall they go. Duncan is not allowed anywhere close to that point, so now Bloodbath and Beyond, they got 1/3, which is already taken out once again. They're going to have to do it all over.
I was going to say, the movement was correct. They played around what was a good start to capitalizing on some of those weaker carries. They just couldn't secure it or find themselves onto that point. Major props to people like FlyBuddy who were defending on what was some of those major diva ultimates that came through at the very beginning. If you did see that self-destruct there, but for now, their own windows to work through. Earth Shatter does come down. Double knock found. Hanbei and Yami going to be finding the initial kills on this front line. Squiggle deep in the back, though, is going to be keeping what is that McCree away. Might carry this one forward and start deleting the rest of the composition here from Bloodbath and Beyond, but they're keeping themselves healthy, and with the Clam keeping himself in this backline with a lot of them to follow suit. I don't know if Wichita can be alive that much longer.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit difficult. They're going to be on the run, and that's Duncan going ahead, taking out the enemy Diva right there. And they're back on this point. It can contest it with one, and that's going to be the Diva Bomb going off. Can't get too much more from there, but again, Bloodbath and Beyond do have 5 members up. Wichita Wolves trying to fight back. Contested point of 2 and 1. Hanbei going up into the air a little bit, but Duncan going ahead and reaping the rewards of this Diva play so far. The contest is still going on, but Bloodbath and Beyond might have a chance. Oh, Dingus! Dingus, no! That's over the wall. You go.
At this point, you just got to pull back and just reassess situation on to the second point here. I like the move from Dingus to switch over to the very quick Tracer to see if he can sustain with the recall, maybe play it back into the point. At those moments, you're just trying to play for time to make sure you get people like the Ryan back on point here. But now, high ground set up for the side of Wichita Wolves. They're going to maybe start this one off early. Invincible only going to go down very, very early on for both Baptistes there. But Bloodbath and Beyond continue their assault. Both Squiggle and Dingus more than likely going down here, so damage oriented carries. This could be an easy charge.
Yeah, and it's looking a lot better for Bloodbath and Beyond as they get on this point very, very quickly. And let's see if they can hold again. Wichita Wolves looking a little bit worse. We're out of the gate. Now, can they regroup? Battle going out, and that's going to be a couple kills. Wichita Wolves losing one of their tanks. Now they're healing right back up again. Glacier and Seed doing the job so well, but a drop down from the sky. Squiggle goes ahead, takes out Zhang, and it's going to fire right back in. 8 HP in a dream. Can't find much more. Wichita Wolves lose 4, and that is going to be the return of the cap. One member still on. Hold. Can they get it? No, they can't get on the point. Can they make it happen? Again, just one member against
Fluffy's
6. They're doing it. They're making it happen, Fluffy. Fluffy is doing it.
The Rhine held on just long enough, and what could have been the end here for Bloodbath and Beyond now extends that much further out. 1 minute 45 left on the clock, and they have to reassess here. Mad props to the Rhine for sticking on that. Oh.
That Zephyr, that was a one man against many, and if anyone is going to get some sort of MVP for this game, that had to be that Fluffy. The Reinhardt play was gorgeous.
Well, for now, they take their position back on the high, and they're going to try to prevent what is the next initial drop down here, but they're already looking far too low. You see that sound barrier come out here from Glacier to make sure that this roster sticks on, but it doesn't stick that close enough here. Dingus below, trying to find what he can on some of those flying carries, but the rest of this roster continues to fall either way. Squiggle Fit Buddy, though, back on the map.
Ooh, and a little nice run back, and that's going to be the kill on the McCree. They have found the picks that they need. Again, 5 members up, just 2 contesting. They just need to push them out, and that's going to be the cap with 1 minute left. We are going into a little bit of overtime.
Oh boy. All right. Now I gotta give praise to Wichita. They showed me that they strut their stuff when they go for hard aggression, and as a result, they eep out what is the better time to work with here. Bloodbath and Beyond on the other end, while, you know, their composition wasn't as forward aggressive, you know, not playing around things like that Symmetra, they still managed to find their way through.
Yeah, and remember, in the overtime here, the time that the teams did not use in the regular part of this map will carry over, so that's why you only see 1 minute for Bloodbath and Beyond. They only have 1 minute to push as far as they can against 5.5 minutes of Wichita Wolves, so it is an uphill climb. Yeah, and the May is coming right back out. Those walls, those ice storms will be so annoying, but Bloodbath and Beyond taking a little bit of a page out of Wichita Wolves' side. You can see the Symmetra there. This could be crazy.
Well, we're going to be taking a little bit of a pause here as we work our way into what will be a great finale for that second round. But you do make a great point there to start this one off. The Symmetra does come out at the very beginning there. And like you said, that's kind of taking page, but they really have no choice if they want to get as apparent or as aggressive a push as they need to contest for a higher standing in this overtime. They have to play it that forward.
Yeah, and remember what we saw last time was them getting stuck. I want to say for the full 2.5 minutes at the beginning, right? That was 2.5 minutes of unfortunately getting stuck against Wichita Wolves' very strong defense, and and that's why you could see them. They might be cheating towards it, or they might not. It's really kind of a mind game, right? If you're trying to get the most out of a minute, why not use that teleport? At the same time, there's always the possibility of a flyover, right? Before they didn't use some of those corridors and those avenues to try and get around the main front of the door. They just went head on. So maybe it's the chance to try and mix it up, right? Take maybe 30, 45 seconds, go for the head on. If it doesn't work, switch it up.
Well, I was about to say 30, 45 seconds is not enough time for them at this point. They need to be pulling it off in what is 15 to 20 here. We are going to be working our way back into this one, and I want to keep huge eyes on Squiggle more than anything. We didn't get a chance to really discuss it in that break, but that wall can be the major detractor here of Bloodbath and Beyond's push.
Yeah, we'll see what they can do. We are in 10 seconds left before the gates open. And Wichita Wolves already boosting forward. You can actually see Lucio bouncing forward. So this is a very high and aggressive squad. They are straight up saying, we're not going to hold at the door. We're going to hold straight up upon the spawn. And immediately we see GetClan with the rest of the squad go ahead and rotate over. Dingus up on the top. They are ready to go, and opening shots are there again, straight through the front door. They are going to try. Fluffy is going to go ahead and get one. GetClam goes down. So is a Solius. And Wichita Wolves have a field day with the shots. Dingus from the second floor is going to wipe him out, and Bloodbath and Beyond go, we just got hit by a truck.
No respect paid to Dingus here on the side. Complete advantage, and not a single person was looking to take him down in response. 23 on the clock here, and once again, Dingus is still lined up. Maybe they'll learn their lesson, maybe not.
Yeah, and again, for this, you do have to get on at that point. You got to get something, at least a little bit of movement. But again, Dingus on the top side, no one is looking up because they're worried about Fluffy. The hammer is swinging like a mad man. And once again, Wichita Wolves are defending against the onslaught. Finally, we see the contest come up, but it's already overtime, and they are dropping down right now. GetClammed is first. Jang is second. Solis is coming back up, but Yami is dead. That is going to be the overtime over with 0%, as that is going to be Wichita Wolves taking round 3.
I was about to say, tough one to muster there. Wichita Wolves, they still have to play off of what is those 5 minutes and 25 seconds. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say I think they've got this one. They've definitely got the time to spare in terms of bolstering what is more than 0%.
Yeah, maybe we see that power of friendship coming out, right? That, listen, we can do it, we can do it. And if it does, that would be great, right? 5.5 minutes. If you can defend for 5.5 minutes, that immediately earns my respect. No matter where you go. Now we do see the heroes coming out, and again, Wichita Wolves sticking with that Squiggle May, which, I mean, it did work last time as well.
It did. It kept the pacing in great control, and like I said earlier, it was a major tool in terms of funneling that composition, which you got to see lovely from the perspective of Dingus there on the upper end, who got to take pot shots through the entire beginning of that initial push here. On the other end, GetClamped back on the Reaper. Yami still on this McCree. They have not changed it this entire match as a whole, actually.
Yeah, just, you know, listen, if it works, it works, and you don't have to fix it, right? Well, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe it's more comfort.
Testing the waters here. That's what I'm feeling, all right, Orb?
I agree with that right there, Zeph. And I mean, this is one of the times to do it. Again, remember, after this, you still have one more game to work with. But again, straight through the front door they go. They do have that Symmetra, which can be pretty scary. But so far, the teleporter isn't going down. Now it's finally being used. And immediately, they all go in, and they got it straight on the point. Oh, this could be disastrous. Bloodbath and Beyond trying their best to fire right back. The utility is all but taken out, but Wichita Wolves still very healthy. And Bloodbath and Beyond, they're making their way back. Wall goes up, and that's going to be Squiggle trying to section out the fight. GetClam finishing off one. Asolius finishing off another. Squiggle finally gets a return kill, and Yami kills a third. Now Hanbei is finishing it. Wichita Wolves down 3. Glacier finally falls, and Seed and Squiggle are the only ones left alive. And that is going to be the first onslaught down as the first wave of the Wolves has been stopped.
And they tried to pull a fast one out here from under Bloodbath and Beyond. You saw that major teleporter come through from Dingus, but the response was just as quick from Bloodbath. And as they finally were able to work their way through that main pinnacle doorway, they got the response. But still, it is such an aggressive move, but this time around they're going to take it up from the high ground, see if they can work way through this one. Baptiste's fault, this amplification going to make it that much harder to hold the point off here. But hey, Wichita, they don't care. They're going to wait that one out.
Yeah, they're going to give it a little bit of time. Now they go ahead and throw down another teleporter. So trying to get a little bit of creativeness, a little bit of juking in. Yeah, just a constant battle back and forth. Look at this. The chaos reigns supreme, and all of the big bodies are straight there in the front. Right in the back, Dingus is going to try and go for it. Gets it. That's going to be the kill. Wichita Wolves finally find the 3 members, make it 4 as get clan falls as well. And that is going to be 5 on the point in a strong fashion. They win the battle, and that is all they need. Wichita Wolves takes game number 2.
Wichita Wolves finding themselves now 2 up here against Bloodbath and Beyond. And honestly, no surprise. You see the aggression come out time and time again. And while, yeah, it didn't work out immediately in that first overtime, it definitely came to full fruition eventually once they definitely switched up. And I have to say, yes, it's hardcore aggression. They're getting in your face, but you did get to see how they pace themselves, notably around that Baptiste ult. That was fantastic. They realized they were in a poor position and they pulled back. And granted, not every team does that.
It's very difficult. It's a lot of discipline and a lot of practice, right? That's the best way that we can put it out. And now we get to see, if it can happen again, right? Now on to game 3 here. It will be a hybrid map. So a mix of both game 1 and 2. And how well can they do? Or more mix of game 2 plus a little bit of a payload, which is a lot of fun to watch here. Of course, we will go to a very short break, ensure that the teams are ready, and we'll get the map as well going for you. So please do not go anywhere. We will be right back for game number 3. Welcome back. Of course, we are here once again. Game number 3, potentially the decider between Wichita Wolves and Blood Bath and Beyond here in the Overwatch match, the best of 5 series here today. And so far, it's been a blast, right? So far, it has been fantastic to watch. We've seen a control map, we've now seen an assault map, and now we get the hybrid of the payload plus a kind of assault there. And we have word that it is going to be King's Row. If you have not heard of King's Row in Overwatch, it is a little bit surprising because it is a very well-known map, one of the first that was introduced.
Oh, yes, one of the first here, and I'm dealing with my own issues on my own. That's the struggles of being remote out here. So if I look as choppy as I do, bear with me. I'm doing my very best. Past that though, Kings Row, I don't think we're going to see that much of a switch up in terms of these compositions because what they've been playing right now definitely works very well. We might see a bit more of the sky-oriented or major controllers in the air come out, notably things like Fair, given that you have the space to work around it. Other than that, I think the standard Reinhardt compositions that they've been playing, as well as most of the forward entities that you see, whether it be the Reaper in the backline or the Doomfist or like, probably going to be still coming out.
Yeah, it's still some of the same. And again, a lot of these did look like comfort picks as well, right? You saw how comfortable a
Yeah.
lot of these players were on. And even though you can switch up, even though you do have sometimes dedicated players to those roles, sometimes they do prefer certain tanks over others or certain DPS, right? So we saw some great
Right.
work. We also saw, I think at one point was a Doomfist. So it should be fun to see, right?
Yeah, Squiggle was on that Doomfist for a short period of time there as he tried to play around the band, but other than that, nothing else definitely stands out. They do have a little bit of the dive-oriented carries on their roster, and it's notably only comes out when they try to hold point. We talk a little bit about the Wrecking Ball. There's definitely some other ones I'm losing it in my brain here, but I'd love to see maybe that kind of orientation. You have what is such an aggressive push out of people like Wichita Wolves, and at the same time, there's playing standard brawl. There
Hmm.
is no major heavy dive, no major heavy poke. They're just taking it fight to fight directly into the face of one another. When, hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But at the same time, maybe a little bit faster.
Yeah, you're taking my quote right out of my mouth there, and I have to agree again. And especially with the payload, it's a whole different scenario, right? These escort maps
That's true.
tend to cause a little bit of I want to say clusters that occur. There are about I want to say 2 or 3 points during the escort that the attackers can get really pinched down, really bogged down by the attack. A lot of great angles for the defenders to kind of pressure in. So I'm very curious to see how both teams can kind of adapt to those situations. We are in first round. It does look like Wichita Wolves will once again be on the, I want to say on the aggressive here to kick things off.
Oh, Wichita Wolves on the aggressive. Name a better combo for the pairing here, as we just talked about how they like to push forward in such a degree that has given them the access to their first 2 wins and maybe potentially their third in this best of 5. We're going to take a look at our first set of the hero selection here, and literally, no surprise, no major changes across the board.
It is going to kick things up, and I think the only interesting thing again is Seed on that
Seed was on the
healer.
Moira.
Yeah, but it's interesting to see to go back to, right? We've seen some good Moras, and we've seen some good play, and this time coupled up in here, I want to see how well he can pull it off. Because again, opening up and trying to get into this point is gonna be the I want to say second most difficult part of this entire map.
Right, and personally, I think the Morio works out a little bit better than what is the standard Lucio running into this first point there. You definitely get a lot more options in terms of the more forward frontal healing in terms of Lucio, who really doesn't have that heavy of a direct input. But no, they actually switched to Leo, and they're going to drop the Baptiste instead.
Now they're going to try and mix things up a little bit here, and the chase is on. Get Clam going ahead and rotating around, trying to find where that May can get the most efficiency, and immediately the wall goes up, only stays up for a couple seconds. And that does mean that they get a little bit of rotate. Squiggle looking for a little bit of dance, goes in the back and gets a punch straight off. That is going to be the healer down. Bloodbath and Beyond get caught a little bit by surprise. They're going to go ahead and finish off a few more. Hanbei trying to get soloed out here, trying to run away. Let's see if we can do a little bit more. No, they cannot. Wichita Wolves going ahead, capping it down, and Dingus gets a couple, make it 3. That is going to be Bloodbath and Beyond pushed so far away from the point that Wichita Wolves can't even see them as they start to bring the payload out of the spawn.
I was about to say, we can give all the credit in the world to Dingus, but what really starts that off is the fantastic flank around the back there to bring us to our 5v6 in the hands of Squiggle. So mad props to the play there on the Doomfist. We discussed how it would maybe potentially make another reckoning here coming into the next round. Now we are on the payload side of things. We haven't gotten a real taste for either of these squads handle on the payload, but once again, thing is making short work of this roster.
Yeah, he's just pushing straight up, and they're going to continue.
Another.
Again, just laying them out left and right. Bloodbath and Beyond laying in a bloodbath themselves, because this was devastating to say the least. They have Squiggle on the payload. Chunky Man himself going to go ahead and push on his own.
I was gonna say, you know it's crazy when you got your flanker pulling back to handle the payload when the rest of your squad is absolutely ramping it so far forward there. Either way, I mean, hey, you're still winning it, whether it be through Yami or my opponent's Dingus here or the light.
Oh man, Squiggle, he's coming in on the side. I think he was hiding in the back line, and now he's gonna go up in the air. Who is he gonna catch? He catches quite a few right in the middle. They're gonna send everyone scattering. A couple more shots does take him out, but the damage has been done. Wichita Wolves, they are hungry for a win and are gonna continue their payload push after getting to the first checkpoint.
And that's the opposite end of the spectrum. You take the boy off the payload, and then you get a little bit of the taste. Granted, he played a lot around that meteor strike being so well crafted into the back end here, but now Bloodbath and Beyond have a lot better responsive ults to work around. You're going to start out with what is that Blizzard to slow the majority of the pacing out here from Wichita. A good response with Diva's breaker there in the back, but no further kills to really successfully eke out the push.
Yep, Squiggle's just right back in the middle, same as Seed, and Wichita Wolves. It did not deter them 1 second at all, and they're just going to take out 4. That's also the ultimates coming out from the Diva and the Lucio, I believe, so not going to be able to have that for the final push here. They just need a few more meters before Wichita Wolves go ahead and close out this first half of this game number 3.
Well, they're not going to be able to push it that much further. That Soundberry doing a great job to hold it steady here for the squad of Bloodbath and Beyond. But once again, your major damage-oriented carries are already down and out for the count. But Wichita definitely going to have to come and revisit this one back.
Yeah, and they're going ahead and, you know, a little bit of a stop, but I believe that is just shy of about 10 to 15 meters that they had to push, which is what, just a few seconds, right, on that payload. Yeah. So here comes the second round of the battle. For the first time, Wichita Wolves did have to regroup. They're going to send it one more time. A little bit of a question mark, as that's going to be a wave out right in the back line, and they're going to give it a shot. The shields are up, and the deaths are near as Bloodbath and Beyond try their best to fight it off, but everything is just going the way of Wichita Wolves. Up goes the Diva Bomb, and no one really falls as Wichita Wolves go ahead, clean house here, and complete the final push payload. Entering in, and it's going to be contested. What more can they do? Not too much.
Bring out the wrecking ball!
There it is again. He's doing his best. He's rolling around in a circle. This is what we love, and off he goes. I don't think... Yep, down he goes. All right, Dingus finally got it. That's a bomb to finish things off, and that is going to be Wichita Wolves taking the first round with 3 minutes and 43 seconds left.
And the sad thing there is the entire time was a heavy dominating force from Wichita. We finally got to see a little bit of the response, like you said, on that last, what was 10 meters. That was the first time that Bloodbath and Beyond actually got a full squad wipe. But other than that, constant trading, whether it be Squiggle on a hard push from the Doomfist, utilizing that mirror strike to get into that backline and remove most of those healers, or Dingus with straight hit scan McCree, walking your roster down.
Yeah, it's just, and I mean, you keep pointing it out, and my eyes keep getting drawn every time you say it. It's either Dingus or Squiggle. Those two, Zephyr, are the two that are constantly in our sights here. Yep, and now we get the mirrors coming out. Let's see what they can do. Bloodbath and Beyond getting ready to set up for their own sort of attack here. A lot of good questions up there. Yami on the McCree, and get clammed on the Doomfist once again.
I was about to say, this is going to be the big tester, whether or not you can actually pull this one off for Bloodbath and Beyond. Last time around, we saw Squiggle start things off for Wichita Wolves by finding the flank there onto what I believe was Hanbei. This time around, I don't think Wichita's going to fall privy to the same trick pulled on them.
Yeah, they'll have plenty to work with, and like you said, the mirror matchup, this is the true test of skill. Everyone on the same heroes, and straight out of the gate they go. Yami clearing out the backside, saying, hey, look, we are very worried about if they're going to try a little sneaky flank, and Squiggle's like, yeah, you're right. Just get ready for it. Up the wall they go. In he goes. Needs to punch,
stunned
but
out,
can't.
though.
He got stunned and killed. Yami was ready for it. Yet Clam finishes off Fluffy, and Bloodbath and Beyond with the same level of aggression go ahead and clear out the point.
I think this is even faster than the initial start from Wichita last round. But now they secure an easy point and the push will begin. Mad props to Yami there. He did find the initial stun onto what was Squiggle, secured the kill, and then the rest was just the wipe.
I mean, Zephyr, you called it again and again. It kind of falls, works or doesn't with Squiggle and Dingus, and so far that is what Yami is waiting for. So we'll see if they can continue. Solius going ahead, getting a little extra shielding, but Wichita Wolves goes ahead, fires back. Ponsby is going to go ahead, take out a little bit of utility. The follow-up is there, though. Remember, they do have to push. They do have all 4 members, so it's a little bit tighter knit defense from Bloodbath and Beyond here on the escort mission. Wichita Wolves a little bit more spread out. Oh, all gathered in this corner. This is going to work great for Bloodbath and Beyond if they can follow up. Doomfist right in the middle, trying to lay down the law, is going to power down right on that point, but can't make it happen as he gets stunned out once again. Yami putting in the work.
Wichita Wolves there pushed into the corner. They try to claw their way back into it. You see them push forward with what is Squiggle's Meteor Strike, but at the same time, being so pushed back right off of the initial stun there was too much for them to handle. Another payload push ensues here. The time to beat only a minute away.
Yep, just a little bit shy. And I mean, this is almost where they got stuck before, so Bloodbath and Beyond going to try and give it a shot.
A little bit of the push coming through here. You see that Earth Shatter come down from Fluffy. Response, though, doesn't work out because of the sound barrier keeping this roster alive. Diva, though, in the back end with Dingus on the eye. Easy 4-man roster. Dingus to clean up Duncan as well, and Bloodbath and Beyond find themselves back to the spawn.
That was gorgeous from Wichita Wolves. It was a party
Beautiful
of death in that backline. I mean, you can't ask for a better way to clear out the enemy team, right? That was the finest coordination that you can pull with 2 members, and Wichita Wolves execute it to perfection. So to be able to stave off before the first checkpoint, wind down, I think about 30 to 45 seconds, and now second push coming out with another jump straight into the back line.
Squiggle trying to find his way forward there. Wasn't able to capitalize and find what he needed on these damage carries, so he's going to have to row back and wait till those windows are back up. For now, though, Aselos keeping his frenzy on the front. Hanbei response, but Squiggle deep, finding both of those major healers. At some point, Duncan switched to Zarya, and it didn't work out here. So with the Earth Shatter, does find a response there on his seat as he launches forward there with the assault, but the follow-up isn't available as the rest of his squad's just coming off the spawn here.
Yeah, and this is going to be Jane going ahead, trying to bounce right back. And again, Bloodbath and Beyond not able to really find that tempo that they had before, right? They were pushing at a pretty good pace, but that combination, right, of the Mercury Ultimate plus the Diva just kind of stalled them out. And now we need to see them be able to regroup, be able to pinch as a team, and work your way up once again. We do see a little bit of a swap up on the tanks. They do really like, but Ponsby goes ahead and kicks things off on Clammed.
Well, Duncan on the Zarya, it's going to depend completely on whether or not he can keep those shields up for a long period of time. Dingus, though, with the Deadeye to find the 2 healers in that backline, and the rest of the squad here from Bloodbath have to back up. There is no sustain on this roster for any further push. Now ticking down to what is that 2-minute mark, and it's looking that much worse for wear.
Dingus with some of these plays, finding the angles has been a monumental driving force, and now with those couple kills has been able to give his team 2 ultimates in the back pocket, Seed and Fluffy, and that's going to be the Earth Shatter being thrown out to kick things off once again.
Good heal in the back, though. Like you said, that Earth Shatter start things off. Yami is told us to keep it rolling forward here. Ponsby, the only one left alive, and as the mech falls down, Wichita falls as a whole. Still, though, they haven't even intercepted what is their first checkpoint.
Yeah, a lot of time shaved off there, and Wichita Wolves did great. Now it's on Bloodbath and Beyond. They have the opportunity here. Again, the pinch in this corridor, they know it well, and they know exactly what can happen, so it's going to be a tight fight, depending on how they want to aggress here. A little bit healing the back line again. Ponsby looking for an angle. Can they find it?
He's going to try to flank this one around the back. You just wait here. The rest of the Bloodbath and Beyond squad, they don't care. Detonation down, but no kills to follow. It was too early. The response from Bloodbath and Beyond was so calculated there.
Very calculated, but just not enough. Bloodbath and Beyond are pushing up on the wall to go. Squiggle is trying to take him out. Goes straight up to the air, trying more to save himself, but 2 seconds left. Actually drops to safety here. So a safety ultimate is used, and that's a little bit of a heartbreaker.
Baptiste, though, with response. Dingus does find the initial Deadeye onto his respective mirror here on Yami, and the rest fall swiftly like a domino. Yami the only one back. No, they are all wiped.
Yeah, that was Wichita Wolves going ahead and pinching right at the last end, saying, hey, look, you did it last time, we'll do it this time. Bloodbath and Beyond do have a little bit more time to work with, though. 2 minutes is plenty of time to be able to get their way back and do maybe, I want to say, 2 or 3 more pushes and attempt to cap this one off. Again, if they do cap it, it will go to a... Yeah, it's, again, very short metered left. If they can get one more combo off, they should be good to go. But again, that all depends if they can keep their front line alive, and they can't.
Not quite available. Squiggle coming through on the back end to capitalize and finish off the rest of this roster, getting rid of both damage carries here. So now another 10 to 15 that you've got to wait on for Bloodbath and Beyond to reset.
Yeah, but this time they do have the ultimates, right? Keep track of that. The Doomfist ultimate plus the Reinhardt will make a devastating combo if they can pull it off. Plus the Lucio, right?
It could be enough to switch it here.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, Zephyr, it's happened once or twice for both teams.
Clam's already down, though, before the fight even begins. Yami as well. So now your 2 major hit scan targets aren't allowed to play this one out. And I love how aggressive Wichita are being. They've pushed them even further past what is this initial building back into the King's Road landing.
That does shave off another minute, so now 45 seconds left. Bloodbath and Beyond need to rally around themselves, and there they go. They're going to throw it forward. Can they find a new one? The shots go out, but the Deadeye doesn't land. This time, Dingus is going to have a little bit of a problem following through, and that's the health bar dropping very, very quickly. Wichita Wolves are going to have some problems right into the backline. Squiggle goes, and he is able to find the Retribution Ponsby. Finishes off with the bomb as well, and Bloodbath and Beyond, the final push, as it felt like, was abused, and they lose so many members. They are not allowed to regroup. 15 seconds left here for Bloodbath and Beyond to get back to the payload and try to push it off.
I was about to say, a little bit of a dance taking place in suit here. Squiggle playing off of what was a great meteor strike, and even the sound barrier couldn't find its way forward. But now the forward roster here from Bloodbath and Beyond, you've got both tanks on point. Duncan with the mech is going to be the first to initially fall on the back end there and going to be losing that one. We do get response. Squiggle is down, but a sound barrier. Oh boy, this is going to just keep the whole roster healthy. No chance that Bloodbath and Beyond find this one.
No, they do not. That is going to be the overtime running out, and Wichita Wolves take this series 3-0.
Wichita Wolves finding themselves a clean 3-0 hands here. And oh, we're going to get a little bit of a taste of play of a game. I do want to take a look. We didn't get a route on the other 2.
Yeah, we didn't. But again, this Earth Shatter here, I think, was one of the best we've seen. That was what allowed the massive push to occur right at the end, I think. So again, it was great to watch, or the defense, I should say. So again, congratulations to Wichita Wolves as they take this series here at the Unified Esports Festival in Wichita, Kansas.
I gotta give mad props to Bloodbath and Beyond. They weren't a complete wash. They definitely put up good competition. It's just in terms of pacing and what was timings, they weren't just as accelerated as Wichita Wolves. You know, we take a look at what was that second round, the assault, where it was just neck and neck. But in terms of what was available versus the 1v5 minutes, it was the deal breaker.
Yes, it really was. So again, congratulations to them. We will go ahead, go to a very quick break and get ready for our next couple matches, which will be Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Of course, it will be, I think, a few different casters up here, but again, it was a blast. So again, my name is Orbital. With me was Zephyr here for this opening broadcast. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will be right back.